Hi guys, so these are my two wash basins. Remember your grandma probably had these in her basement. They were next to the washing machine, and the washing machine had a hose that would drain into one, and the other one was for hand washing or something. Well, I've hauled these guys around to like 3 houses now, and I absolutely love them. 4 houses. So I've had many different things growing in them, but I put some of the Swiss chard in here last year, and it absolutely loves it, and I love Swiss chard. So being April and the ground is above around 50 degrees, I could direct sow a bunch in here, but I did start some in my trays, so I'm just going to go ahead and transplant them in here, and I've removed other things that I had growing in here, like daffodils and some other flowers. So take that stuff out. I'm going to put these in, and yeah, in a few minutes we'll be full of Swiss chard, and hopefully it'll love it here and grow very happily, and I don't see why it won't. So here we go. Alright, so just a few minutes later, we're all potted up, and hopefully all of that will start to look like this really soon. So now is the time to get all your cold crops in, like beginning of April. If you're not doing that yet, get on it, and unless you want warm crop, and then that'll be creeping up here May or June here in Portland, Oregon area. We're slower to warm up in this space, but containers get warm a little faster, and anyway, there you go, Swiss chard. It's a good thing. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you how much this Swiss chard has grown into these containers in just a few weeks' time. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I come out here and pick from a number of areas now that I have around the house, and just enjoy Swiss chard as one of my main greens. But the time has come in the season where we're getting hot weather, and it's thinking about bolting. You can tell it's going to bolt when the flower starts to form at the top. This is true for any leafy green. Spinach will do this, and I did a video on spinach. I think it was last year or the year before about spinach bolting. So this year I'll do Swiss chard. How can you stop your plants from bolting? What can you do? Nothing. You can't do it. You can slow it down a little bit by finding out where the flower is. It's almost always on the top, but sometimes it'll come out the side depending on how big the stalk is. So like this is actually the side stalk of that. But all you do is come down a few leaves and pinch off the top. Just like that. Down here we'll take this one. Same thing, pinch off the top. Here, we'll do the same thing, pinch off the top. Over here, same thing, pinch off the top. Do this for spinach, kale, obviously Swiss chard, mustard greens, anything that you want to slow down the bolting process. And why do you want to do that? Because when it gets, well, look at this section here. When it gets ready to bolt, it's going to get ready to flower, and then it will set seed. The seeds, you want some of them to bolt so you can collect seeds for next year, right? So you can plant them in your own yard. You don't have to buy them again. But what happens is that the leaves then start to get kind of woody and funny. They actually will change shape and get pointier. Maybe I can find some spinach and we can look at that because it's a little further along. So this is my bed with the beets, some of the leftover radishes. This is where I pulled the radishes to do the fermentation. And here is some spinach that is getting ready to bolt. Here, you can see, let me move this leaf. Here's the flower is going to be in here. But can you tell that the spinach went from having these big, full, fat leaves to tiny, pointy leaves? And even the slightly bigger ones are going all pointy. That changes the flavor of them. I think they want to not be eaten. They want to be able to put their energy into making the flower and the seed so they can procreate. And they don't want anybody eating them, so they change. That's my hypothesis. Anyway, so I'm going to slow that down. I'm going to pick that out. Probably not eat these myself, but I will give them to the birds. So I'll go through here and see who else is getting ready to bolt. This guy's getting ready to bolt. Leaves haven't changed yet, though, very much, just one or two. The other ones are okay. So we'll look around here and just kind of pull those flowers off of there. So anyway, that's the only way I know of to stop bolting, and really all you're doing is slowing it down. But again, leave a few of them so you can collect seeds for next year. But now is the time. It's just about mid-May, and it's been a rather warm year so far this year, so things are getting ready to bolt. The greens will do that too. I mean the beets here, but they are a little behind. That's okay. Look at these radishes. Talk about a radish. Ah, that's a radish. Isn't it beautiful? I'm going to eat that one right now. Okay, so thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know if you have any questions, and there you have it. Good luck. Hi, you guys. So I need to correct myself with something. When I was talking about bolting and I mentioned several different kinds of things that bolt, one of the things I said was kale, and I am totally incorrect in that. Until I came over here and saw some of my kale plants going to seed, I totally forgot that they're a brassica, and they are a member of the cabbage family, which means that they don't bolt in the traditional manner. They seed in a much different way. So what I wanted to show you is this kale plant, and I've got one there, and these down here, and they're very interesting. Kale, like many brassicas, will only seed after they're 2 years old. And I didn't plant these this year. Last year, I pulled out the kale. See this stalk right here? And I just laid them to rot in place. But what happened is they started growing. Can you see? It goes to here and it comes up. And that's where this plant is coming from. It wants to be alive so much and propagate that it's growing. And that's where these came from as well. Now, they didn't leaf out very well this year. I didn't get much that I could eat. I still can eat these, but again, when something starts to go to seed, it does get really woody. But you can see these seed pods are forming. And actually, let me gather a couple. Let's go over to the table and look at them. But you can see this whole stem, each one of these like little side stems is seeding out. And each one of these will have anywhere from 10 to 100 seeds. So let's grab some more from over here. Some of these big ones, yeah. They're still a little too early to collect for harvest, but we can take a look at them. And let's go over to the table and open one up. So what I have in this jar are wild mustard seeds, and I can actually make mustard out of it. We're going to do that in a little future episode. We planted some in the cardboard container to see if it would grow. But they're also a brassica, and their seeds also look the same. They look a lot alike, all of them do. So pretty important to label them correctly. Right now, they are not brown. They're green, but can you see all those little green guys in there? So soon, they will dry on the little vine, or the stem, and they will look like this. They'll be nice and brown. So the outside will turn brown, and the seeds inside will turn brown. And you can grind them up and eat them as a condiment. Even the kale, all of them, they're all edible. Or you can save them like I've done here to plant or make a condiment from it. So anyway, I misspoke about the kale, and I just wanted to correct myself. So the kale, the wild greens, the mustard greens, let's see what else, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, they'll all do this. They're all brassicas. So anyway, I stand corrected, and there you go. Thanks for watching.